Do you ever feel lost or not sure of what to do with your life? If so, then continue watching. I truly hope you find this video helpful and inspirational. Welcome to English on the Mark, the real talk. My name is Marek Pena, and today we will cover 7 very important life lessons that will hopefully let you look at life from a different perspective. This is a lesson that I have done with most of my students, and it was inspired by Tim Minchin, an Australian comedian who delivered a very powerful commencement speech at the University of Western Australia. The link to that speech will be in the description box below, so I strongly encourage you to watch it once you're done with this lesson. So, without further ado, let's begin. Life lesson number 1. You don't have to have a dream. I'm pretty sure that at some point in your life, someone has asked you, what is your dream? In fact, this is a question that I pose to my students because I want to see how they answer it. And of course, the expectation is that you will talk about your big dream, that you will elaborate on what your big plans and goals are. But what if you don't have a dream? Or you don't know what your dream is? And here I will say to you what I say to my students. You don't have to have a dream. Or if you don't know what it is, that's okay. There is so much pressure that society has created and put on us. We are expected to have our life figured out by the age of 18. You're supposed to know what you want to study so that you can go to college, graduate by the age of 24, and then just begin your career and do it for the rest of your life. How absurd is that? Don't let the pressure get to you. I was that person. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I was constantly stressing out about it. And I don't want you to do this to yourself because it's not fun. Instead of stressing out about what your dream is, focus on short-term goals. This is something that Tim Minchin mentions in his speech. Short-term goals are much easier to achieve. So next time, instead of saying, I'm going to become fluent in English, say, I'm going to learn 10 new words this week. If you accomplish learning those 10 new words, you will be so much more inspired to set new short-term goals for yourself. And be careful of long-term goals. Because sometimes, if you are so focused on your long-term goal, you might miss everything that's happening in between. All these new opportunities that you could have taken advantage of, but you didn't because you didn't even notice them. So don't worry about figuring out what your dream is. Focus on short-term goals. Okay. On to the next one. I hope you're still with me. Lesson number 2. Stop comparing yourself to others. Answer yourself this question. Who do you most frequently compare yourself to, and why? Do you ever find yourself scrolling through your Instagram feed and saying, oh my God, this person's life looks amazing. I want this life. Well, you're not alone. We all have done it. But as Teddy Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy. When you compare your life or yourself to others, you're putting your focus on the other person. And instead, you should be focusing on yourself. Many of my students always compare themselves to their friends back home in their native countries, saying that their friends are so much more successful and that they have a better life. And what I always say is this: we all walk a different path and we all have a different story. Where you are today doesn't say anything about where you will be in 4 or 5 years from now. I like to use this metaphor. Your life is like a TV show. Where you are now in life is just one episode, and there are many more episodes to come. So, if you find comparing yourself to others, turn this comparison into inspiration and keep a record of your achievements. Just write it down somewhere, because this will help you see how amazing your life actually is. Okay, life lesson number 3. Try new things. This is something that helped me figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So I pursued a bachelor's degree in political science, and I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with this degree. But I was hoping that by the time I graduated, I would have figured everything out. Well, that did not happen. After graduating, I continued working at different bars and restaurants, but at the same time, I started looking for internships or volunteering opportunities. And I actually succeeded in getting an internship with a nonprofit organization. I got to work within their government relations department. And the director of government relations really wanted us to learn something. So I was able to meet some senators, assembly members, and I was able to learn a lot during that internship. But I also realized that this was not what I wanted to do with my life. So at that time, a friend of mine was in film school. So I started to think that maybe I should try something within the entertainment industry. So I had another friend who worked for a production company, and she was able to get me a job as a production assistant on a TV show. And this was just a one-time gig, but this opportunity allowed me to try something different, which in the end was not something that I wanted to do. But had I not tried it, I wouldn't have known. So all of this led me to finding another volunteering opportunity as an English teacher. And right from the get-go, I fell in love with teaching. And this is what I'm doing now. What I want you to take away from my story is this. Try different things. How are you really going to know what you want to do with your life if you don't try it? Find volunteering opportunities. There are so many available online right now. Pick something that you're currently interested in and volunteer. This will allow you to explore different possibilities and see if there is something that you're truly passionate about. Lesson number 4. Stop being a perfectionist. Sometimes you are your own worst critic. We want everything to be perfect. We want to ensure that whatever it is that we're doing is the best. But at some point, you need to let your creativity flourish. And sometimes you just need to improvise. You can't control everything. And I've heard people saying that if you want to be successful, you need to make sure that everything that you do is perfect. And I disagree with that. I actually think that perfectionism can be the very thing that prevents success. If something is not perfect, embrace it. Take my YouTube channel, for example. I've been thinking of doing this for years, but somehow I was always able to come up with something that prevented me from doing it. I didn't have the right equipment, or I had to come up with a better idea, because I wanted to ensure that if I started something, it should be perfect. Until one day, I just decided to go for it. And that's what I want you to do as well. Don't let perfectionism get in the way of your success. I really hope that what I've talked about so far has resonated with you. And I truly hope that you will start implementing these lessons in your life, even if it is just a small little part. But let's talk about lesson number 5, which is take care of your body. Exercise. When you're younger, you tend to prioritize your life differently. You work, you study, you party, and you kind of forget about exercising, or you might say that you just don't have time for it. When we are younger, we think that we're invincible and that there is nothing that we are not able to do. But I will say this: take care of your body. Go for a run, do yoga, or lift weights. Because your body is your home, where you will have to live for the rest of your life. So be good to it. Number 6, be hard on your opinions. In today's world, everyone is very opinionated and determined to prove their point, regardless of whether they're right or wrong. And no one seems to be listening anymore. I want you to examine and question your opinions. I want you to listen to what others have to say and then draw your own conclusions. And of course, have your own opinions, but don't be stubborn. If someone proves you wrong, accept it and learn from it. And finally, life lesson number 7. Don't rush. Give yourself time and be patient. If something is not working out, take a step back and have some rest. Taking a break might allow you to come up with a new idea, or it might provide you with a fresh perspective on how to deal with adversity in life. So, if you're trying to figure out what to do with your life, don't rush. Take your time, because you are exactly where you need to be. I truly hope that in some way you find these 7 life lessons helpful and inspirational. And if you have some life lessons that you would like to share with us, please share them in the comment section below. So, if you enjoyed this video, please join my motivational corner on Instagram at englishonthemark, where I share 1-minute motivational videos every week. So thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you all next week.